unlike any other skills, memorizing takes a whole lot of practice, dedication, and patience in doing it. And I know that some of us, we're not able to memorize things easily, you know. But that's fine, that's totally fine, because we have other alternatives of doing so. We have external aids that can help to improve our way of memorizing things, such as we have tons of supplements like fish oils and those kind of things, and also we have memory books and memory puzzles and all those things that can help us to improve our way of memorizing things. And also I've inserted a quote. It says, educators have lamented the fact that often students were trained to be passive receptors of information instead of being taught to critically analyze information. And it is cited from Oliver and Third techniques is dialogues. Dialogue is to recreate knowledge as well as the way we learn, a mutual learning process where the teacher poses critical problems for inquiry, a mean to transform social relations in the classroom and to raise awareness about relations in society at large. This process is situated in the thought, language, aspirations, and conditions of the students. And dialogues also shaped by the subject matter and training of the teacher, who is at the same time a classroom researcher, a politician, and artist, and etc. And dialogues involves ongoing talk between the teacher and the student, not just the teacher and the presentation, you know. And dialogue also, basically, it's a learning that takes place through talking, communication, you know. This is dialogue education principles. There are learning assessment, learning design, learning facilitation, and learning evaluation. The last one for my part is conversation. There are 4 types of conversation in teaching. There are conversation classes, oral classes, presentation, and debate classes. Well, there are actually more, but I just include some. The challenge in this technique is to engage students in academic discourse or conversation, because the problem in conversation is actually it's either the student won't talk at all, they won't respond at all to the teacher, or they won't stop talking, you know, like they would just bomb with question and yeah. I think that's it for my part, so thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So I will continue with other techniques. The next technique is information gap technique. So an information gap is a technique in language teaching where students are missing information to complete a task or solve a problem. They have to communicate with their classmates to fill in the gaps. Okay, for example, a teacher gives the students a task. For example, it is about a famous artist, the information about a famous artist. So the students will receive a similar information, but there will be missing information. Let's say Amy has information about the birthday of that artist, and while Shamhana doesn't have the information. So Shamhana can find the answer by asking Amy what is the birthday of the famous artist. So that's the information gap technique. Yes. So as you can see, these are the advantages of information gap techniques. Firstly is students can improve their speaking practice because by asking each other, the students need to communicate with their friends, right? So it can improve their speaking practice. Second is students require soft skills such as clarifying the meaning and rephrasing. And next, it will help the students to increase their motivation by communicate with their students and their friends. Next. Okay, the next technique is role play technique. Role play is a technique that allows students to explore realistic situations by interacting with other people in a managed way in order to develop experience and trial different strategies in a supported environment. Depending on the intention of the activity, participants might be playing a role similar to their own or could play the opposite part of the conversation or interaction. Means the students can acting in the class, acting any situation or the topics that related to their learning. Next. How it works. So this technique works when the participants will then act out the scenario, and afterwards there will be a reflection. Means if you guys know in 21st century school, who the school practicing the 21st century school, they will know. In the classroom there will a traffic light, parking lot. So it is the same concept like that because the students who watch the acting can write on a piece of paper like that, and they can write what is good and what is not good, what to improve. So the students who act it out can improve what they are like. So these are the advantages in role play technique. Firstly is to develop real skill communication. Actually, it's all the same because it's about communication, right? So it will help students to develop real skill communication. Next is simple low cost because this activities is kind of simple activity in the class. So the student doesn't need to buy any costume or doesn't need any prop. So it costs nothing. Next is giving opportunity to show the creativity. When the student acting in the class, so from that we can know who is talented and who can show their talent. Next is does not need material. Like I said just now, it doesn't need any costume or any props, it doesn't need material. And the last one is to develop self-esteem and confidence. When the students are acting out, they can gain confidence by that. Okay, so next is pair and group work technique. Pair, as you guys know, when you and your partner only just both of you. And group work technique is when a group there are more than one people. Okay. As you can see, all of these are the advantages of the work group technique. The first is to allow them to mix with everyone in the group. Like us, Itesl we have 97 students, right? So by doing this technique, we can know each other better. We can get to know everyone. Next is to teach them how to lead and be led by someone other than the teacher. So that means when there are many people in a group, so there must be a leader to lead the group, and whenever they need to divide the task, so there must be a leader in the group. Next is to allow you to monitor, move around the class and really listen to the language they are producing. So the word you here stands for the teacher. So the teacher can monitor the students, can really listen what they are doing. So if the students are making mistakes, so the teacher can correct them. And then to give learners more speaking time, so it's not only the teacher speak in the front, so students also can speak. Next is, how to set up pair and group work. First thing first is be sure, we are going to be a teacher. So first thing first, we as a teacher have to know. Be sure to fully explain the procedure before splitting up the class. We must know our lesson plans. That's why a teacher have a lesson plan before they start teaching. Next is ask them to tell you what they have to do before they do it. So after you explain what they are going to do, so you ask them again what they are going to do, because this is just for make sure students are really understand what you are saying about. Next is don't forget to have feedback after pair work. So the feedback seems like the reflection what I just said just now. And then set a clear time limit. This is important because you have to set the time limit, because when you doesn't care about the time limit, the students will not focus. They tend to make a noise. They are more talking rather than doing their task, right? So when you have a clear time limit, the task will be finished by the time given. Next is team-based. The integration of team-based instruction into language teaching originates from general primary education and has been practiced since the 1960s in UK primary classroom, where children typically spend all day with the same teacher. Team-based teaching contains different activities which are linked together by their content, and it intertwines with communicative language teaching. This technique, basically, the students are learning with the same teacher all the day. This approach is also called activity-based. Like other approaches and teaching methods, team-based language teaching can be integrated in the regular classroom setting to different amounts and in varying concentrations. The team can come from the students' interests or topics being studied in the classroom. So that means all the activities that our teachers going to do is based on the topic on what they are learning or student interest. I think that's all from me. Sorry for the witnesses, and thank you.
So I'm going to continue what my friend here said. The next technique is a jump. The aim is to prepare students for mainstream classes where they will join English level 1 learners. And its emphasis is placed on acquiring specific target vocabulary, means the teacher has specific target, what she wants or he wants you to master. And also features study skills sessions to familiarize the students with listening, note-taking, and skimming and scanning text. The next one is sheltered technique. The aim is to enable their ESL students to study the same content material as regular English level 1 students. ESL here stands for English as Second Language. And it's called sheltered because learners are given special assistance to help them understand regular classes. In this method, 2 teachers can work together to give instruction in a specific subject. Means you can have 2 teachers teaching the same subject. One of the teachers is a content specialist and the other an English as Second Language specialist. They may teach the class together, or the class time may be divided between the 2 of them. That's all from us.
So we're going to play a poisonous music box. Is there any questions before we play? But not box, it's like pencil box.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is regarding from this morning. Wait, I'm sorry, right.
Sorry, can you speak louder?
Yeah, wait. When you talked earlier this morning about functional emotional approach, I didn't quite understand when you explained on categorize along rubrics. Could you please elaborate on that? Could you hear me?
Let's go lah.
When you said categorize along with other rubrics of a communication approach. Oh, the first word, the first line, categorize along with other rubrics of a communication approach. I didn't quite understand it. Could you please explain, please? Sorry. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Guys, please be patient. We are trying to find the answer.
Okay, what I mean is the functional national approach has placed the categorized along with the rubric is that has placed the functional categories that I have explained. There are 5 categories under 5 headings that I have explained before, like personal, interpersonal, directive, referential, and imaginative. Yeah. I understand.
So we need to categorize it based on the 5 things I just gave.
Categorize into other personal, okay,
it is compatible.
The others rubric is personal, interpersonal, directive, referential, and imaginative. So you categorize.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
Sharif?
I do. But
And then?
I think I understand it. Sorry.
You don't understand the word rubric. Oh, what?
I don't understand the statement.
Oh, you put one with one another.
Okay.
Could you elaborate that?
Is that okay?
Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, is there any questions besides Sheffield? Okay, no.
Problems with drilling, right? One of the problems.
Okay, if you don't have questions, we have questions for you. So yeah, it's about our topic. So I hope you guys take notes. I'm gonna start with. We're gonna play Poisonous Music Box, but this contains the questions.